Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, non-binary pals, and the technicolor rainbow in between, this is Mickey Mouse Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Chris A. Boingo Writer Gaston, and with me is my tag team partner,
The Vacuuminator. How's it going, folks?
Oh, bask in his glory. Oh,
Oh,
bask
bask in
in...
his glory.
You have no sense of the
Oh,
tempo I was setting, bud.
I'm tired. It's been a fucking roller coaster of a day, dude.
Oh no, we've killed Buster. They said they're dead in the chat.
Oh, that's good.
But how are we gonna annoy Vac with our video game talk on Saturday, Buster?
Now I will make no effort to show up on Saturday.
Buddy, guy, buddy, pal, buddy, friend. You have to.
Do I, though? Do I really?
Yes. We will and we won't. You good? You friend? You pal? You guy? You co-host of this wrestling podcast we're doing?
Yes, I am present and accounted for.
Are you? Because you're a present in my life. You're a gift.
Do you want something from me? Because this is way too nice.
No, I'm just trying to pull off a gag. Because we have two wrestling shows to talk about. One...
And no bullshit.
What?
And no bullshit.
No bullshit. We have one minor newsy thing to talk about, but that's more of like a footnote in talking about the episodes.
Yeah.
Because this isn't like our comic book podcast where we got to talk about an hour's worth of comic books every week.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is just wrestling. And in this week of wrestling, we have AEW Rampage.
Yes.
Since it's shorter and you're being tired, would you like to read the card?
Yes, sir. AEW Rampage 2/4/2022 from the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois. Opened up with Adam Cole, Bebe versus Evil Uno of the Dark Order. Cole pinned after the boom. And then after the match, he called his shot for the World Championship. We then got a backstage promo from Jade Cargill. The Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, took on Isaiah Cassidy for the TNT Championship and pinned after a go to hell. After the match, Andrade confronted Sammy in the ring, and Sammy was saved by Darby Allin. QT Marshall then got a video package. Tony Schiavone talked to Chris Statlander backstage. Mercedes Martinez took on Thunder Rosa, and Rosa won via DQ. Serena Deeb got a video package. Tony Schiavone talked to Mercedes. I don't know why I have trouble with her name all of a sudden. Mercedes Martinez backstage. And then in the main event, Absolute Ricky Starks with Powerhouse Hobbs took on Jay Lethal for the FTW Championship. And Starks won, and I deadass just didn't see the finish. And I couldn't rewind it because I was watching on a weird service this week.
Yeah, this episode was an Illinois bust.
Yeah.
It was in Chicago.
They do a lot of shows in Chicago, actually.
They probably won't do for a couple months now because they probably want to avoid the CM Punk. That's the best way to put it. They want to avoid Chicago being pissed at the fact that CM Punk lost.
I feel like Chicago is intelligent enough to understand.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing. I have a feeling they'll be really hot against something, and they kind of just wanted them to calm down. It's like, okay, cool. You good? Yeah. Like, I say like 3-4 months.
I was going to say, give them 3 months and then come back and have the first match on whatever show it is just be CM Punk squashing somebody.
Ooh, I wouldn't want to squash. I would want a good match where he just looks really cool and dominant. God damn, is that what?
Shut
what's
up,
that?
child.
No. Video package is like
an edited, produced, it's like a trailer for what's going on with this wrestler right now.
Wait, Buster, are you in Chicago? Or in the Chicagoland area? Or near
I've
enough to Chicago to get its regular weather reports?
I've kind of known Buster lives on the outskirts of Illinois because they've met Doug Walker multiple times, and Doug Walker he's
Yeah,
on the
he's
outskirts
in
of Illinois.
Chicago. Doug Walker lives in Chicago.
Oh
But
yeah, he
I have a
does.
feeling Doug Walker lives in the equivalent of like Long Island is to New York for Chicago.
Yeah,
Whereas,
Buster's in the Illinois confirmed.
mm,
Find Buster, viewers of
shame
this
about the
wrestling
frog people in
podcast.
Illinois. Shame about the frog people.
That's a joke I'm not in on.
No, you're not, because the joke is that there's just a growing like joke of yeah, no, we don't talk about this thing in the state, and it's a weird cryptid or horror thing, and it's just kind of like, oh, it's just meant to be spooky.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I live in Georgia. Don't talk about the shadow people though. The shadow people don't like it. That kind of thing.
So is it just you make up a thing?
Well, it's kind of, you make up an internal lore surrounding the state.
But it's not like everybody's already agreed upon what the
No.
things are for these states. It's
No, you just
your bullshit.
it's a creative experiment of just like, how to best describe it. Okay, you know how you fool there. Oh my god, Buster, I'm so sorry.
It's like an unnecessary way to elongate a conversation, but okay.
It's hard to describe, but have you heard of Southern Gothic?
Heard of it?
The writing style of Southern Gothic?
I have heard that term before, yes.
This is a hard thing to describe, because unless you're just like kind of in that kind of mindset, it makes no godly sense.
I guess so.
Think about it like this. It is like treating the Jersey Devil as a 100% totally real thing, but you make up a Jersey Devil.
So it's just being Zach Baggins.
To an extent. But like, it's just for your sake, it's like, oh yeah, no, we live in Florida. Yeah, avoid the monkeys. I mean, you should avoid the monkeys anyway. There was actually a rumor in high school that there were monkeys in and around Silver Lake. No, around a themed garden thing near us. That they had HIV.
Wow.
The CM and the CM and the CM Punk, the Chicago made CM Punk show. Well, we're talking about that, so hold on. Well, first off, we had
That's not
to.
on this.
No,
This is other stuff. That
it's in
happened
the
after
next.
that.
It's in next week, but
Yeah.
Buster's main recognition is CM Punk because to Chicago.
Jesus.
Who else? Isn't there another goddamn wrestler in a? Oh yeah, Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
He's in AEW. He's also from Chicagoland. But
So
no,
we finally got confirmation this week that Mercedes Martinez is working for Britt Baker. We pretty much got a full-on faction going now, and Baker has assigned her basically get rid of Thunder Rosa. Beat her up so bad she's on the shelf. I don't care about you winning. Just make sure you beat the crap out of Thunder Rosa, and that's interesting. I like how that's building. I like how we're building this grudge by proxy now, and the storyline between them goes on, and it just confirms even more the thing I felt ever since Britt got the title. Person that's going to take it first for Rosa.
oh yeah. Do you think it's going to be Revolution, or do you think Revolution's going to be Thunder versus Mercedes, and then the next pay-per-view is going to be Thunder versus Britt?
Well, I actually was listening to Alvarez's thoughts on last night's show when I got back from work tonight, and he says, according to his sources, they've already decided it's Britt and Thunder at Revolution, but he didn't say who his sources are, and like sometimes Alvarez is right, sometimes he's wrong. I would personally say don't do it yet, wait and build it for the next pay-per-view. Like have there be a match between Martinez and Rosa at this pay-per-view, and then use that to build to Rosa and Baker at the next pay-per-view. But that's just me.
Yeah, Buster, there's a lot of faction stuff in AEW. Like a lot of people just getting together, working together, and
Hmm.
doing that kind of stuff. Speaking of factions, we actually have a representative of that in the very first match, Adam Cole, Evil Uno, which is the Elite versus the Dark Order.
Yeah, that war's been going on for ages at this point, on and off, and this is a nice little extra wrinkle in it. Makes a lot of sense that the continuing strategy for a lot of heels to get to Adam Page is to just go through the Dark Order.
Mm-hmm. The Danhausen also feels like he's a little bit responsible for it as well because yeah, AEW is very common writer. You're
Hmm.
not wrong, Buster. Uh,
AEW is just wrestling is tokusatsu without the editing.
Wrestling is tokusatsu, but the storyline isn't fighting for saving the world. It's fighting for sport. That's the
Fighting for
storyline. It's like
yourself.
I want to be the best. I want to be the number
F-
one.
Fighting for your own ideals. In fact, all wrestling is just Kamen Rider Ryuki.
Yeah. And getting the belt's getting your wish because you get the money.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's just in. I mean, there's a reason Tanahashi's fucking her doing his shit, you know?
Yeah. We'll talk about him in a bit. But for now, I don't have too much to say about any of the matches on this show in particular, just because it's been a long day and it's been a while since I saw any of them, so they're not sticking in my mind too good. I do remember enjoying Sammy and Isaiah quite a bit, though.
That was fun. No, I just watched it today, like rewatched it kind of thing. So I have it a little
Okay.
bit fresher in my head. Um, Ginner Bujita, right, Madoka. That would be the wrestling video game written by Suda51, where at the very end of the game, the main character kills themselves because of depression
That's a thing.
in the 90s. Yeah, it's a Fire Bro game.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Isaiah and Sammy was good. Sammy's always good, though. Uh,
Yeah.
Starks and Lethal, though.
Starks and Lethal, from what I saw, was good.
It was fantastic. It's also nice to see the FTW belt being put on TV and being defended.
Hmm. Treating it like it's a real thing, and also giving Lethal something to do. Because I gotta admit, like I like Jay Lethal, but he's not been doing too much since debuting. So like
I
it
part of
feels
me
like
is
we're starting to figure him out.
part of me also has a little bit of a fear that Jay Lethal is going to be kind of like the Christopher Daniels,
Kind of like Dustin Rhodes, that kind of
Kazarian,
strata legend.
that kind of like we have been wrestling for a while. We're friends with the people who run the company. We still want to wrestle. We still want to do things, but I'm okay not being front and center major character all the time.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know, I don't want Lethal to be in that kind of position. I would love to see more Lethal.
No, I certainly don't need Lethal to be a champion in this company, but I would like it if he got not necessarily more to do, but just like I felt like he was more of a character.
Right. He was more present. He was more the Jay Lethal we know who had a woo contest against Ric Flair.
Yeah.
The Jay Lethal who was Black Machismo.
I don't necessarily need him to wrestle as Black Machismo in
No, no, no. But
AEW
the guy
either.
who came up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the man who came up with Black Machismo, I'd love to see what he can do in AEW.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, Rampage was a goodie though. It was good. It
It's
was
a solid
solid.
little show. Solid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So why don't we talk about the big beautiful show of Dynamite that I'll read the card in just a second. But oh man,
Oh, Dynamite! I thought you were just talking about Keith Lee there for a
oh
second.
yeah, I mean, dude, it's Keith Lee. It's Keith Lee. Come on now.
You just said big and beautiful a whole lot. I was like, okay, this is where we're going. All right.
I mean, look me in the eye and tell me Keith Lee is not a big, beautiful man.
No, I'd let Keith Lee hold me.
Keith Lee would hold you while you cried, and he'll just be going like, "It's okay, buddy. Everything's gonna be all right."
Rock
man.
you like a baby, and you'd never feel safer in your entire life.
Oh yes, Keith fucking Lee. For anybody who doesn't know Keith Lee, this is gonna.
Buster's just like, what the fuck?
Buster's just going like, "Oh wow, I didn't know you guys were bi." Okay, so AEW Dynamite, the 9th of February 2022, from the Jim Wilhelm?
Yeah.
Jim Wilhelm Broadway Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. First up, we have a Pinnacle in-ring promo. Then Andrade El Idolo comes face-to-face with Sting and Darby backstage. The Blade versus Mr. Mayhem Wardlow with Shawn Spears. Wardlow pins after 3 power bombs. Penta El Zero Mero video package. The Inner Circle have a team meeting. Tony Schiavone talks to Roppongi Vice backstage. And then a certain Switchblade makes an appearance. Then Isaiah Cassidy with the Andrade Hardy Family Office versus Limitless Keith Lee for a spot at the Face the Revolution ladder match. Lee pins to advance after an over-the-shoulder slam. Mercedes Martinez and Britt Baker video package. Sammy Guevara cue card promo. And then we have FTR with Tully Blanchard versus CM Punk and his surprise tag team guest, Jon Moxley. Punk and Mox pins after simultaneous GTS and paradigm shift. AQA versus Jade Cargill with Smart Mark Sterling for the TBS champion. Cargill pins after a Jaded. The Elite have a backstage promo. Serena Deeb has a 5-minute rookie challenge versus Katie Arquette. Arquette taps after 4 minutes left in the challenge. The Gun Club and Jurassic Express have a promo battle video package. And then the Murder Hawk Monster Lance Archer versus Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match for the AEW World Championship. Arthur gets counted out after a buckshot lariat over the ref's back onto a table. After the match, Adam Cole confronts Hangman Adam Page.
Lots to talk about on the show. A lot of going on here, but I want to start with probably the most under-discussed thing about this show, I think, which is we finally got 2 women's matches on TV this week.
2 women's matches and what, 3 video women's packages?
Mm-hmm. And, like, I understand why people aren't talking about it, because the second match is almost nothing. It's basically a cold Pop-Tart of a match, but it's still a second match.
It's still a second match, but it's also, it's a segment. It's not a match. It's much more of, like, it's an angle. It's setting up an angle.
Mm-hmm. And I'll admit, a big part of the reason for, like, I'd have been fine with it normally, but the thing is, like, it was booked as Serena Deeb's rookie open challenge, and I was like, oh, is that another debut? Who could that be? And I was like, well, people are saying Keith Lee might debut. If Keith Lee debuts, we're probably getting Mia Yim. And then it's somebody who was on Dark like months and months ago, who I'm sure is great. I'm sure she's an indie darling, but I've never heard of her before, and the match, like I said, was nothing.
Yeah, no, it was nothing. It's an angle setting up for a future thing. That's it.
Mm-hmm. This is a cool segment for Yoga Karen to be a Yoga Karen.
Yeah, good Yoga Karen. Good Yoga Karen character.
That being said, AQA versus Jade Cargill, I thought was fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, sign AQA quickly.
I think it's the best match Jade has had in her entire career so far.
Oh,
it was that good.
Repeatedly, every week, she has the best match of her career so far.
And it's because her career started in AEW, and she's been learning. She's had to learn so much each week and each week. And yes, sometimes she does a very simple match that just ends with a jaded. But every once in a while, we'll get something like this, which is more involved, has a little more going on. Like usually, we get a 2 minute match. This was a 10 minute match, and it felt like, oh, this is somebody that can really go toe to toe with Jade and has an interesting thing in their own right.
Right. I did like her look. I kind of would like to see her come into AEW.
Yeah, I love her gear with the hanging bright straps. Make it look all the more interesting when she's doing moves.
Give me the cyber goth. Give me the cyber goth.
Hmm.
Because that's just what I was when I saw her look. I was just like, oh, that is a movable, workable cyber goth. Cool. You figured out how to do it. Good on you. Uh
Oh, your brain is a wonderful place.
oh, come on. You didn't think about that?
I no, not at all. I was just like, oh, that's cool.
You plebeian. So let's actually kind of go in order.
Hmm.
The Pinnacle's celebration of beating CM Punk.
It's good. On Wrestling Observer Live, they said pretty much my exact thoughts on this is like this whole segment and the match it sets up for is very much like a Raw storyline of the week kind of thing. But AEW doesn't do that all that often, so it felt very different and fun to see them do it with
Yes,
like
but
this kind of random opening promo segment and then a match to pay it off later in the show.
it also feels like it sets up more story later too.
Mhm.
Um, mm, Buster,
No, they
they
did.
did the theoretical equivalent of doing a Fortnite dance on CM Punk.
Hmm. They all came out with special intros from Justin Roberts, with the exception of Wardlow, and all the while the fans are asking for Wardlow to get some special treatment. And then MJF comes out being carried on a big old throne like he's one of the Hutts from Book of Boba Fett, and then he snogs a sexy lady who it turns out is his real life girlfriend, and then they cut a big old promo on how MJF totally beat CM Punk twice in Chicago, and there was no chicanery whatsoever. And then CM Punk comes out and goes, "Hey, I've got my debt collectors with me. We're gonna beat the snot out of you till you give me a rematch." Well, and MJF goes, "Well, how about this? You get a tag partner that's not them, and fight FTR, and you beat them, and you get your rematch anywhere you want, anywhere you want." And of course, later in the show, that happened with John Moxley in a okay match. Like it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either.
It was a very whiz
Um,
pal match. It wasn't psychological. It was very kind of like wham bam.
yeah. And I'm guessing this is setting up for rematch at Revolution in a solid steel cage.
Yes, but you're forgetting the what part I really like because the Pinnacle were ignoring Wardlow the entire time. It's like big muscle. He didn't get an entrance. He got looked over when MJF was thinking who helped him win, even though Wardlow is the one who came in, gave the illegal item to win the match.
Hmm.
So Wardlow was going like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get my thanks and come up and my thanks and everything, and then MJF goes like, Sean Spears, and he's just like, okay.
And it's only when CM Punk comes out and goes like, "Hey, I want a rematch against Wardlow because he's the one who beat me. Fuck you, you didn't beat me. It was Wardlow's
In a couple
fault."
weeks, Revolution happens in a couple weeks, Buster.
Yeah, Revolution should be at the end of this month, I think. I'm
Yep.
I'm not sure the exact date, but um, when Wardlow was like, maybe I will fight CM Punk," that's when MJF starts bringing up Wardlow and has the audacity to go, "Hey, he doesn't hang out with us because we pay him. He hangs out with us because we're a family." Because heel factions love throwing the word family around.
Yeah. Um. No, it was also really good because and it really should have been obvious that CM Punk was going to pick John Moxley because the people he was hanging out with was Darby and Sting. Well, who else does Darby and Sting hang out with?
Uh-huh.
Moxley and
Although
Eddie Kingston.
Although that being said, he did at Danhausen and Samoa Joe, among others, looking for help between the segments on Twitter.
Yeah, that's great. Come on. Samoa Joe would have been an amazing get, though. Especially with their history in Ring of Honor.
I don't think his 90 days are up, but could you imagine how the crowd would have reacted? Because he wasn't rumored at all for the
Oh,
show.
yeah, no. Oh, man, I just thought of the biggest thing. Never happened. But I'm just thinking of, like, storyline Remember Summer of Punk? Triple
Mhm.
H.
Oh my god. I did see one half joking Reddit post after we found out about the Forbidden Door thing where somebody was like, what if it's Triple H though? What if it's Triple H? And then my favorite comment on that post was somebody going, adrenaline in my soul. Triple H is on my show.
God damn it. That's good. No, here's the thing about the Forbidden Door that I just realized I have. With Impact, it's like, oh yeah, cool, Impact people, that's coming, that's cool. New Japan, yeah, yeah, AAA, yeah, yeah, yeah. I I am hesitant to have WWE have access to the Forbidden Door now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, it'd be cool to see John Cena or like Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, any Cesaro, anybody like that come up and show up in AEW. But if they come into AEW, there will be so many strings attached that it wouldn't even be fun.
Yeah, it'd very much be like it'd almost be like they have main character shields turned off.
Yeah, our guys are going over, right? But we need to know our guys are going over, right?
Okay, then they only get the free matches they absolutely have to make this program work. But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves with talking about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Inner Circle team meeting. I didn't hate
It
it.
was interesting to see a Reddit thread live on air.
God damn it, dude. Fuck off.
How many times have you seen that Reddit thread? Oh man, proud and powerful are being so misused because they're in the inner circle and
I've
they.
never seen that, Fred. I just realized, yeah, that whole dialogue path sounds like a Reddit comment section. Fuck you, man.
I get one a week. I get one a week where I just make you lose your fucking mind.
No, this segment was. I feel like it was supposed to be a really big banger of like a drama segment, and instead I was just like, this is. Ooh, this feels like retread. Maybe they should actually break up.
Yeah, it's getting to that point. I have a feeling
Like
it would.
it's good shit,
Yeah,
but it's not exciting anymore.
I have a feeling it would have been better if Chris Jericho was more definitively the bad guy in the situation.
Hmm.
Because it's
Also,
so murky right now that it just kind of goes like, ah. But you want to root for Proud and Powerful. You want to root for those guys, and you want them to go and be successful, do their thing. But then Jericho goes like, yeah, but I brought you in. I gave you opportunities. And you go like, yeah,
mhm.
you're right. He did.
And like I also just have two massive nitpicks about this segment, which is A, it ends in them saying they're going to have a match next week to settle their differences.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, what happens if who wins? What are the stakes here?
Yeah.
It sounds like you're just going to beat each other up to get it out of your system, and then in 3 months you're going to need to do this again.
It's a toxic. Realistically, if they bring that up and say, like, yeah, no, this is kind of a toxic like relationship with that as like a point of it, yeah, no, that'd be good. But if they don't bring that up, then it's just no stakes.
Mhm. And then my other nitpick is Jake Hager really didn't need to be here. The only
No,
fucking reason he's in this segment is the same reason he's in AEW at all, which is that he's in the inner circle.
yeah. Though watching this segment, I did realize. Wait a second. The inner circle is just Chris Jericho trying to live with his old friends again.
Yes, I remember Cody's promo from way back at the beginning of Dynamite.
No, no, not just Eddie Guerrero. The other one too.
Uh-huh.
Because look at Jake Hager.
Uh-huh.
But like, because Jericho, anytime he can, brings up Eddie Guerrero when he talks about Sammy, Santana, and Ortiz. It's like, oh, they remind me of Eddie Guerrero. I would love if there was just like a moment where, like, in the match with Santana and Ortiz, Santana just looks at Jericho and goes like, "I'm not Eddie."
Mm-hmm.
Just like, because literally Chris Jericho's midlife crisis, missing his friends.
Or way better and way easier for the audience to get, a moment where he hits one of them with the Judas effect and then turns to tag Hager in and goes, "Do the diving headbutt."
That one diving head,
And everybody just stops.
like, because realistically, that feels like a great place to take Jericho's character, the aging veteran who has just gone to the point where he just misses his friends,
Mm-hmm.
and he's projecting that onto people that he feels like he can control. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that has been the subtext of his character since the Inner Circle began, but it would be great if they brought that to the forefront, like you said.
Yeah. Because, like, it'd be interesting, it'd be fascinating. Did Jericho have another in his group? Because it was Guerrero, Jericho, and Benoit.
I mean, Chavo was there.
But I just mean, like because it is Benoit. Benoit. I feel bad talking about him in a wrestling context just because it's like,
And it's always going to be that way. It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Uh,
But Benoit and Guerrero, just bring that to the forefront. I would love to see that up to the forefront. Give Jericho actual depth to his character.
and if it's handled maturely, which I trust AEW to do, it could be one of the best wrestling storylines ever.
Here's the thing: all it can be just very much of like you were trying to relive your glory days. We're not, we're not your glory days. We're the future, and you have leashed us to a past that we can never live up to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Especially because like Sammy brought up like, oh, we're family, and like I think Jericho genuinely believes that. He genuinely cares about these guys. But he treats them like they're his old friends when they need to have their own agency.
Yeah.
What was the next segment? I read them and I don't even remember.
The next segment was the debuts. Do we want to go ahead and get into that?
We can go into the first one because it's a little bit shorter and a little bit simpler.
So Tony Schiavone is talking to Roppongi Vice backstage. They're basically going like, "Hey, you know that tag match we were gonna have a few weeks ago, but we couldn't because this guy got COVID. He doesn't have COVID anymore, so we're gonna do that tag match now." And then the Bucks are like, "Yeah, but fuck you first." And then Adam Cole's like, "Yeah, fuck them. Also, look who I found." And Jay White comes on screen, and I was sitting right about here. My sister's over on the bed watching with me, and I just go, "Oh shit!" And she goes, "I mean, that jacket's nice."
Oh god, yeah.
And so I quickly explained who Jay White is to her. Jay White is there, and he thinks the Bucks have nice earrings. And later we find out the Bucks are a little concerned because Jay White and Kenny Omega hate each other. So what's going on here, Adam? And he's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I
Yeah,
just
don't
thought
worry
we
about it.
could use the help.
Yeah. I love how Adam Cole is just like he is just taking control of the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
He's
It's
just
very similar to his BTE storyline from back in the day, and I'm digging it.
yeah, but like he's not being overt about it. He's just going like, no, we need help. We need help, right? Help.
Mm.
I'm
That's
not
cool.
getting
Don't
muscle
worry
around
about it,
here to
guys.
help me out. I'm just getting help.
Hmm. Also, it should be noted that this was not originally planned for this show when Tony Khan made the announcement on Friday. But since people started guessing that it was going to happen because Jay White has mentioned AEW in pretty much every promo he has had since I believe Kenta showed up in AEW, um, people were predicting it and guessing it, and Tony Khan basically got on the phone with New Japan and was like, "Can you help me pull my own ass out of the fire before
And
it's in there?"
that's because Tony Khan made an oopsie. See,
Mhm.
quick AEW wrestling terms 101. There's a concept called
Oh, hang on. Pause the multiverse. Okay.
there's a concept called the Forbidden Door,
Mhm.
coined by Tanahashi.
Yes.
But basically, the Forbidden Door is two different wrestling companies working together, and one wrestler going to another promotion. That is the basic idea. They don't stop working for the previous company, they're just also working a couple shows here. It used to be just a common occurrence in professional wrestling. Then WWE kind of became a monopoly for a bit, so it didn't happen really. And now it's kind of becoming a thing again. But now it has this cute, catchy term that we use of just like,
And
oh,
because we haven't had it in basically living memory, it feels really big and exciting.
yeah. So Forbidden Door is that. Well, Tony Khan said that, hey, we're going to have a surprise entry for this one match next Dynamite, blah blah blah, and then later on in a tweet said the person's coming in through the Forbidden Door. Forgetting the definition of Forbidden Door, that basically has been like all agreed on of like a person coming from one promotion to another while still working for the previous promotion, because he was going, oh no, this is a person who was known at this point in time for this promotion, has been let go and is now coming to us. That's not Forbidden Door, that's just a release and acquirement.
Yeah.
So when that got pointed out to him, he was like, shit, I need a Forbidden Door.
But no, by Sunday he had secured the arrival of one Jay White, and because travel quarantine is basically nothing in this country now, it all worked out, and he was able to be on the show. And I'm assuming we're gonna see him wrestle some matches over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I can see a couple matches going on. And honestly, that's how I kind of would want Forbidden Door stuff to work. I would want them to come over, do like a little bit of a program, and then Suzuki is a prime example. He came, he did a couple shows, and then he went back to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
We got a good chunk of Suzuki.
Yes, we got a nice slice of the Suzuki pie.
Now we just need that for Tanahashi. Give us Tanahashi.
Yeah, because I won't lie, there was a little part of me that was hoping for Tanahashi because fucking Mox is back, and he was calling for Tanahashi before he left. So when are we getting Tanahashi, Tony? Please?
God damn. I just want Tanahashi to come in and like, I know he doesn't use it in Japan, but I would love if they got the fucking rights for like America, because Toei doesn't give a fuck about America.
They
He
get the
gets
rights for next level.
for Kabuki's theme for him in
Yeah.
America.
Mm.
And he comes out and you go, "Poof." The whole like, yeah, Kabuki.
Kabuto.
Kabuto.
Yeah.
Man.
But no, and that theme has like a baller opening instrumental too. So it would make people go like, what the shit, who is this?
Like, oh man, it'd be so much fun. And he can still rock out the air guitar. It's all good.
Yeah. It's got some hard guitar riffs in there.
Oh, he could probably promote Vanguard.
He'll probably be wearing Vanguard gear.
Because because Bushiroad makes the Vanguard card game and owns New Japan.
Buster, Hiroshi Tanahashi is a huge Kamen Rider fan. Kamen Rider Kabuto is his favorite Kamen Rider.
And he does the hand thing.
Part of his entrance is doing the hand thing that Kabuto does.
Yeah. It'd be like someone pulling off Ichigo's pose. It's just like he does the Kabuto pose.
Mm-hmm. It'd be like if I was the wrestler and I gave a thumbs up when I came out, and a promotion I was guest starring in essentially got Kuga's theme for me.
Yeah. We're also just fucking talking as Toku wrestle nerds, and we would be the only two people in America popping our ever-loving minds out if that happened. Yeah. But he loves Kamen Rider in general. He's had Double Gear.
Yeah. He was in Garo. He technically played the original Garo.
And he was in Kamen Rider.
Yeah, he's guest starred a couple times.
He was in the Pac-Man movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would love to see him as a second,
He's like the John Cena of Japan.
Yeah. I would love to see him as a secondary writer for a season, just for the lulz.
Yes.
You know?
Oh my god. Have him play like a Kamen Rider Buster style dad character.
Yeah. Okay. So we need to talk about the other debut that happened.
Yeah, pardon how the pun this could come off as, but the elephant in the room.
So, they're setting up who's going to be in the ladder match to get the thing to challenge for the main title, blah, 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 all that stuff.
And I won't lie, after I saw Jay White, I thought like, oh, okay, it's Jay White. Jay White's about to come out.
Then Isaiah Cassidy comes out. He does his whole entrance. It's fun. Matt Hardy comes out.
Yeah, he's got Matt and Mark Quinn.
Coming out. And then on the screens it just says, "I am limitless."
And the best new theme AEW has put out for a wrestler in a long time starts playing.
Praise the ruckus.
Mm-hmm. Because Keith fucking Lee comes out, and while it's not similar to his NXT theme at all, this was NXT Keith Lee.
Oh,
like, just forget all of his main roster shit happened, because it's like they ported him over directly, because he has his full name, he has Limitless, he has Bask in His Glory, he's wearing the same style of gear. The only thing that's different is his beard's a little thicker.
The best way I describe it is, this is the end of NXT Keith Lee. He has gotten the belts, he's become an undisputed NXT champ, he's done all that stuff. He did not go to the main roster, he just came here.
Yeah. And it was like, because we didn't watch his main roster stuff. No. We knew it would be bad, and we weren't watching any WWE at that point anyway.
But we were watching him in NXT, because he was great in NXT.
Oh, yeah. And all the reports we heard, though, was just like, oh, that sucks. That really sucks. I feel so bad for him.
They put this man in a singlet. They put this beautiful man in a goddamn singlet.
Mm-hmm. And that was the other great thing about this, is he just immediately took that jacket off when the bell rang. And I was like, yeah, good for you. Body positivity.
Give us the barrel, man. Give us the fucking barrel-chested big boy.
Mm-hmm. But no, watching him in this match, like, even though I didn't see the joy get drained out of him on the main roster, like, I could tell that he was being restored. His joy, his optimism was being restored with this match.
It immediately got restored when everybody in an American audience, because Americans never chant like this. We never do. It's mostly a British thing. Just immediately started to the tune of Seven Nation Army. Oh, bask in his glory. Oh, bask
Oh,
in his
basking in his
glory.
glory. And, like, the whole fucking match just stopped so he could conduct.
God damn, he's probably hasn't done that in a year.
hmm And there were people expecting him too. It was rumored on all the websites, and so there were people there with appropriate signs. Somebody had the silhouette pose sign, and he tweeted that made his whole day. Mm.
This man is
Plus, I said I was watching the show with my sister. Her first time seeing Keith Lee at all, I was like, "You're gonna love this guy. He's the most athletic big man I've ever seen in my life." And the first thing he does is fucking toss Isaiah clear across the ring, and my sister's like, "Oh my god!"
like he's a big man, but he's not like a fat man. Because you've seen there's been big fat men. Like he was Samoan, he dressed up as a Japanese sumo wrestler. Yokozuna, Viscera.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's been Umaga, yeah. No, this guy's built like the Kingpin.
Uh-huh.
It is all muscle.
Yeah.
And he moves like it too.
It was so great. It was so wonderful. I'm so happy. Like, there was a slight element of surreality to it because it's literally like an action figure from a different line is now standing next to these figures.
Oh man, imagine when we get his figure. Imagine when we get his figure.
I don't feel like I need to get his figure because his gear is so similar to the figure I already have.
I know, but like I don't, and I want it.
I know, but like, damn.
Goddamn. I genuinely believe now that he's in AEW and we have trust in AEW that they will use him correctly.
Mm-hmm.
He will become a huge star. He will be asked to do a lot of things. He is charismatic. He is well spoken. He can do it all. He's going to be a breakout star.
Possibilities there are. There are limitless possibilities.
He's just golden. He's good.
Good. I'm ready for AEW World Champion Keith Lee in 3 years.
Oh, 2 years. I wouldn't be surprised if like he is immediately put into the TNT title picture and gets the belt.
Well, he's in the ladder match now, so we're halfway there.
Yeah, I don't think that's for the TNT. I think that's for the world belt.
No, it's Face of the Revolution. That was for a shot at the TNT belt last year.
Then it might be the same thing. But you gotta give the guy something when like damn near every straight man I have ever seen or heard talk about this man, talk about him in a romantic context.
He's just the physical embodiment of cool, calm, into soul music black guy who, if you say the wrong thing, will break you in half.
Like, he is positive masculinity embodied.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he is also not afraid to like go like, no, I will defend myself kind of guy. It's great. He's amazing. He's wonderful. Keith Lee, AEW confirmed. It's so good.
Made the night, and then the night was made again because this freaking main event, dude.
Oh, you just want to immediately go into the main event? You don't want to talk about...
We've talked about pretty much everything else in general, unless you really want to talk about the Penta video package.
No, I think he's bringing back a Lucha Underground style gimmick. Like, he did something in Lucha Underground, he's bringing back something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that was a reference to.
I did enjoy the Gun Club promo with Jurassic Express.
Yeah, that's good. The excellent use of "we got 2 words for you."
Oh, that was so good. It was like, yeah. So Murder Hawk Monster and Hangman. Goddamn.
this is the best defense Hangman has had so far. This is the best this is the best thing of him being champion at all so far, like segment period, and I'm including the match where he was crowned. Like
That
this
also
was
means that
fantastic.
it also include the Daniel Bryan matches.
Mm-hmm.
You
Like
know.
those were good, but those weren't as exciting and as captivating as this was.
This was great. This was phenomenal. A good storyline throughout, just the match itself, paying off things
Mm-hmm.
that they've done before. All is good.
Showing smart but devious heel tactics and a smart and strong face champion who figures out a way to counter it and win.
Because the main through line of this was that they removed the top rope, which Hangman needs the top rope to do his buckshot lariat, which is his finisher.
Mm-hmm.
And he just figured it out any way to do it anyway. It's great.
Yeah. And like all the deathmatch stuff in this, well, I'm sure there's people out there who thought it was excessive. I thought it worked really well and it was all incorporated into the match very organically.
Because it wasn't necessarily like they were using weapons against each other. It was much more like Lance Archer would set up an obstacle course and would just throw Hangman into everything.
Mm-hmm. And then Hangman would use his body to tear it apart and throw pieces of it at Archer.
Yeah, it was a death match, and like it wasn't like I got a baseball bat with barbed wire. I'm gonna rub your head. No, it's just more of like we set up some tables. I'm gonna throw you into the tables because fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're gonna hit me with a barbed wire chair? I'm gonna take one of those rows of barbed wire, wrap it around my hand, and punch you.
Yeah, I love the buckshot lariat.
It's so good. It's one of the best finishers there is right now.
And here's the thing. It is the kind of move that on the surface it can only be performed in a certain way. It seems like a very limited move. It takes up a lot of setup, it does all that kind of stuff. And then you see a match like this and you go like, "Oh no, it's extremely versatile. You can do a lot with the move."
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't pull off a thing like that with the Panama Sunrise.
Yeah.
No, this match was good. It made Hangman. Here's the thing. Lance Archer lost. But Lance Archer looks stronger in this than he did coming into it. And Hangman looks tougher because he's just been through the shit of it and made it out by the skin of his teeth.
Mm-hmm. And like you can really see it with the with just the red on his face because it's the bloodiest I've ever seen somebody in AEW at the end of a match, and it feels really really badass.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially with the way it was like clumping into his beard, it was good.
Um,
Also, Hangman's gear was good this week. It was like a camo-y thing.
yeah. No. I mean, there's no other way to describe this Dynamite but glorious.
Oh yeah, it's glorious. It was fucking limitless. It was amazing. And we have Keith fucking Lee in AEW. Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I can't think of any other signee that I think could fit or work in AEW that they need. Like, there's plenty of people that I could go like, oh no, they'd be good in AEW, but they don't need anybody.
Yeah.
At most,
I mean,
maybe Jeff Hardy, but that's just more to like complete the broken stuff.
mhm. I mean, now that Keith's here, I really want Mia to show up as well because she'd be an excellent addition to the women's roster.
You were correct. In
But
women's
like,
roster, there is some needs, but like I was thinking of men's.
yeah, but like I'm not gonna come on here every week and go, "Where's Mia Yim? They have Keith Lee. They should get Mia Yim." It's just like, oh, I expected her, and then I didn't get her, which is a little disappointing. But I'll move. I'll get on with my life.
I wouldn't hazard it. You know what I wouldn't? You know what I wouldn't say no to?
What?
Keith Lee, after whatever program he first sets up, like his second program, he goes up against Adam Cole and goes like, "Oh, hey, dude, you're here. You couldn't make it up there either. Shame."
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing, like whoever, that kind of stuff. And they start bickering back and forth. And then Britt Baker gets involved. And it's just like a power couple trip, and they're just like badgering Keith Lee and goes like, haha, fuck you. And then Keith Lee goes like, all right, bet. Gets Mia Yim, and they have a intergender tag match.
Yeah.
Because that'd be fun.
That'd be great.
Fucking Keith Lee. Look at that man.
Fucking Keith Lee. His smile, his optimism restored.
Our smiles, our optimism restored. Because goddamn, like all the matches he can have, all of the matches.
Like, I don't want to get into it. If you follow me on Twitter, you basically know. But like, I had a really shitty Wednesday. It was not a good day. And then like I was like, should I watch this or should I just wait and watch it in the morning? And I watched it, and seeing Keith Lee made it all worth.
Yeah, no, that was AEW and our version of professional wrestling that happened in the week.
Because nothing else matters. Oh, what's that? Killer Cross is in MLW. Good for him, but I don't care.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
That's nice.
there was a video package on Twitter earlier today.
Well, I'm just more saying like it's nice that you found the job.
Yeah, it's nice, but like I'm not watching MLW for him.
No, you know what I watched MLW for MJF. What do you want me to say?
I was expecting for Darby and Ethan Page's old rivalry.
No, MLW had MJF right before AEW.
Cool.
Yeah. But in the meantime, hey, want to tell the people where they can find you?
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make videos about tokusatsu and maybe kind of other things at some point, I don't know. You can find them at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. You can also follow me on Twitter to see me talk about anything and everything that pops into my head all day long at the Vacuuminator. And you can follow me on Instagram for pictures of toys and my dogs at _Vacuuminator.
Hells bells. Hey, howdy. I'm Chris at Gaston, and I do a variety of content on the internet. If you want to see some Twitch streams, it's twitch.tv/BoingoWriter. If you would like to see some tweets or Instagram posts or TikToks, it is all at all of those at Boingo_writer. And hey, if you like this podcast and you're watching us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, do all those kind of things. That'll help us out. And if you're listening to on a podcasting platform of your choosing, hey, give us a follow. That'll help us out too. In the meantime, this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast, one of many podcasts. Hey, we have Components, where we talk about anything and everything. No Price, where we talk about comics, movies, merchandise, and more. We also have Twit. You want to tell the people about Twit?
Podcast where we talk about tokusatsu.
There you go. You're starting to learn the format. Yeah. But that's it for this show. Do we have any final words?
Glorious.
Limitless.
Yeah.